Hello, folks, and welcome to today's episode of the Hospitable Hosts podcast. Today, we're speaking with James Varley from Host Planet. James is here today to tell us a bit more about Host Planet and how you can use their resources to learn a little bit more about hosting and get some tips and tricks from them and some industry experts, and also telling us more about Host Planet Playbook, something that we're collaborating with them on over the next couple of months and that you can get involved in. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to like and share on your favorite podcast platform. Okay, awesome. Hello, James. Glad to have you on.
Hi, Miles. Real pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. How are you doing today, James?
Very nice. Yeah, gorgeous sunny weather here, and I've barely seen a cloud for the past 5 or 6 days. Just got back from a bit of a golf trip, and clear blue skies. And we can't say that very often in this part of the world. So yeah, happy.
No, yeah, Northeast England is not always the sunniest place to be, but I'm glad to hear you're having some nice weather. Sounds great.
We are. Yeah, it is. It is gorgeous. Yeah, it makes a welcome change.
Nice, love it. Funnily enough, James and I are actually from the same part of the world, slightly spread about now, me being based in Toronto, but yeah, James just down the road from where I grew up. I'm very familiar with the terroir and the weather over there.
Yeah, it's nice part of the world. We're just halfway between Leeds and York, in the north of England. When I speak to people from North America, often they might have been to London and they're familiar with that part of the world, but not many people have made it a few hours outside of London. So yeah, it's when I speak to somebody outside the UK, it's always a little bit of a surprise if they know this part of the world, and a big surprise when they say that they're from the next village in like in your case, Miles.
Yes, exactly. My reference is always Leeds United. Always go to the Premier League for references of whereabouts in the world you are from. It's always handy to tie it to a football team.
Unfortunately, when I mention Leeds, sometimes I get some blank looks, so I have to mention Manchester United. And as a Leeds fan, that's a difficult thing to have to do. But we are where we are. We can't help the geography of where we're born and where we're from.
Exactly. Okay, well, obviously, we're not here to talk about geography, weather, or football, or soccer, as some of the Americans might call it. We're here to talk a bit more about Host Planet and some of the things that we're collaborating on, James. So maybe we can start with a bit of an introduction from you on what is Host Planet.
So Host Planet is a multimedia resource for short-term rental hosts, property managers, and investors. We share lots of free content. We have a regular newsletter, various podcast series. We've got ebook downloads on the website, which are all free to grab. Blog posts. We're active on social media. We're also doing plenty in the event space now. We've hosted a couple of events so far, and we're planning to host another one later this year, and also a UK roadshow in 2026. So we're all about helping hosts and property managers. My background is media. I've spent time in newspapers, magazines, radio, TV, and then for the last 10 years, well, from 2013 to 2023, I was in Qatar working on the FIFA World Cup project. So there's another football or soccer reference for everyone. And it was while I lived in Qatar that I started investing in property. I bought a couple of short-term rentals. And at the start of my journey, I listed the properties on Airbnb because that's really all I knew about short-term rentals. I didn't realize really there was this whole industry, lots of other things to learn, whether it came to tech or direct bookings, how to be a sustainable host, all those kind of things. And as I learned more about being a short-term rental host and property manager, I realized there were a lot of other people like me in this space. They have a property for whatever reason. They list it on Airbnb and kind of hope for the best. And I could see people on social media channels, Facebook groups especially, saying, I've just started out, I've got a property, I don't really know what to do. Where should I list it? Should I charge a cleaning fee? Should I allow pets? And I'd see these same pain points over and over again. And I thought there needs to be a platform that's going to help people in the short-term rentals world. So like a lot of people in this industry, find a problem and try and deliver a solution. And a lot of the solutions that you see are tech solutions. It might be guest communication or a PMS like Hospitable, of course, or a dynamic pricing tool, or upselling. But I knew media and comms. That was my entire background. So I thought that there needs to be a platform to help hosts and property managers. And if I can build one that's engaging through high quality content, then that will become a useful platform for the industry. So yeah, we're all about helping hosts and property managers.
Nice, awesome. And I guess the focus, to help them is basically through education, right? And kind of bringing more resources and, materials together so that everything's in one place, right? And they can learn from you in one hub.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I said, multimedia platform. So everything is there on our website. So if you go to hostplanet.club, you will see the various free downloads. We've done a few with Hospitable, of course, one about direct bookings, direct booking checklist, which are really useful. We've got so many podcasts on there now. So we've got the Host Planet podcast, which comes out every Friday. We speak to a lot of industry leaders. They talk about trends, different tech, share best practices and lessons learned. We also have the Host Planet Bite-Size series, which is all about specific topics. So there's episodes on there about dynamic pricing or cleaning or pets, all those kind of things. They're about 15-minute episodes. So if you want to learn about a specific topic, you can get straight to it. We've got loads of blog posts on there about what's happening in the industry, such as the latest updates with Airbnb in relation to their policy changes, collaborations that we're working on, different projects that we're launching, and of course our social media channels as well. We share lots of video clips from our podcast episodes, especially. Again, it's all sharing knowledge. It's helping hosts and property managers build successful and sustainable businesses. And you'll also find on there as well links to our upcoming events. Like I said, various other projects that we're working on, including one that we'll get to pretty soon, I'm sure.
Sweet, for sure. And I guess one final question before we get to that. You're obviously based in the UK. We've joked about football teams. Is the content specifically for a UK audience, or is it global?
It's very much global, yeah. I think the Host Planet name kind of suggests where we are. We've got listeners and subscribers in more than 90 countries. We are quite UK-centric. A big percentage of our audience is based in the UK, probably about 60-65%. And to be honest with you, when I started the platform, the aim at the beginning was to be quite UK-centric. I didn't really think about what was going on elsewhere. But very quickly, we got subscribers and listeners in the US. I think most of our partners and collaborators are based in the US. Plus, we've got listeners and subscribers from all over Europe, lots of other companies that are based all around the world. So, yeah, we try to take a global focus, particularly the UK and the US. It seems that this industry in North America is kind of huge, and it's probably a little bit more mature than all the other parts of the world. So, yeah, we take a lead from what's going on in North America and then apply it to a bunch of other markets as well. But it's interesting with, I think, the industry as a whole to see where it's growing in different locations and how mature it is. You can usually tell by the amount of regulation. If there's loads of regulation in places, then it's quite a mature industry. If there's no regulation and you've got hosts and property managers flying up everywhere, then yeah, it's a really kind of up and coming location. But yeah, it's interesting to see where we get all the traffic from. But yeah, certainly, I think that the good thing about our content is we try to make it as broad as possible, so it's relevant whether you've got one property or whether you've got hundreds or thousands that you're managing, even if you've got no properties and you're just starting out. And also, we think it's relevant wherever you are in the world. I think, learning about hosting and property management, there are lessons learned that you can apply anywhere. It doesn't matter whether you're on a beach in the Caribbean or you've got an apartment in Tokyo. I think there's a lot to be learned, especially by the experts that we interview on the podcast.
Awesome. And so, we're talking about interviewing experts. I think we can agree that, hosts and property managers themselves are often the experts. So tell us a bit more about Host Planet Playbook and how we're going to put hosts and property managers front and center.
Yeah, so when we started the platform, we were actually called Holiday Cottage Handbook. That was our first name, which turned out to be a little bit too long. But the reason it was that name was because we started out as a handbook, as an ebook, a free download from the website. And as the platform has developed, obviously we're Host Planet now, we annually produce an ebook. And the first couple of editions we started in September 2023 have been very comprehensive about all aspects of short-term rentals, covering a range of different topics. They're both about 65 pages long. They're both available on our website if you want to go and download them. But for the third edition, we wanted to hear from hosts and property managers, share their stories, their lessons learned, learn about the tech that they're using, learn about their ambitions, how they've grown their businesses, how they deliver an amazing guest experience. So what we're doing with the Host Planet Playbook, we're teaming up with Hospitable, and we want to find 30 hosts who've got amazing stories to tell. We want a range of people. It doesn't matter whether you've got one rental, whether you've got hundreds, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. And we want to learn your story. So if you've got a story to tell, you've got lessons to share, you want to build the brand of your business, you want to build your own personal brand and get your name out there, this is an amazing opportunity to be part of this project. You'll be featured in the ebook. Each of the 30 property managers will have a double page spread feature in the ebook, which will be like a Q&A style. And we're also having a podcast series as well. So each property manager that we feature in the ebook will also have his or her episode in the podcast series as well. So it's a great opportunity to get a lot of eyeballs on what you're doing, showcase your business, share your lessons learned, and be part of what I think will be a really cool project, and get in front of two big audiences in the STR space, our audience and Hospitables as well.
Nice, I love it. So yeah, I guess the key question is, how do hospitable hosts that are listening get involved?
Yeah, so head to our website. So if you go to hostplanet.club, navigate to the blog section, and you'll see a story on there about the Host Planet Playbook. Click on that, have a read, and there's a form there that you can fill in. And I'm sure we can put a link in the show notes of where people can get straight to the blog and yeah, just fill it in. It's a very quick form, just your name, your email address, how many rentals you've got, and then very simply why you should be featured in this project. And there's space there to write as much or as little as you like. And then, yeah, over the next few weeks, we'll be reviewing all the applications. We've had quite a good number have come in so far. And yeah, I think in June, we'll be starting to record with people. So yeah, we're looking for a pretty quick turnaround. If you're chosen, we'll fix up a date for the podcast recording, and then from that podcast we'll create the written content. We'll need some cool photographs of you as well, so hopefully you've got some nice photos of you at your rentals, and nice shots of your rentals too. And yeah, so we'll be moving quickly with this project, and the ebook itself will be coming out in September. So yeah, time is of the essence. If you're interested in getting involved, fill in that application form, and yeah, hopefully you'll get contacted from us pretty soon.
Nice. And I guess one thing to really call out here is it doesn't matter how many properties you have, right? 1 to 1,000 and even more. We're interested to hear your story, right?
Yeah, exactly. There are some people who have got, real boutique style businesses, and it might just be one amazing property that they market incredibly well, and they've got maybe loads of direct bookings. They can talk about how they promote it. They can talk about the guest experience. I think if you've got a great story to tell and a unique story, we want to hear from you. It really doesn't matter how many properties you've got. And we want to have that variety. We don't just want to say, oh, you must have 100 rentals. That's not really what we're about. I think at Host Planet, we're really keen to share content and lessons learned with everybody, no matter what the stage of their journey. So yeah, we want to, keep that same ethos with this project. And also it's a free resource as well. So we're not going to be charging for this, even though I'm sure the lessons learned are going to be really, really valuable. It's going to be a great resource for hosts and property managers everywhere. Yeah, it's all about kind of like building a community, bringing people together, and sharing all those amazing journeys. So yeah, doesn't matter kind of how many rentals you've got, doesn't matter where you are in the world. Yeah, if you're interested in sharing your story, then please get involved.
Yeah, awesome. And this is obviously a great opportunity for you to promote your property or your property management business, and just kind of get more eyeballs on the things that you're doing, and hopefully drum up some more business for yourself too.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a couple of things really. You can drum up more business for yourself, get more eyeballs on your rentals, and people will consider staying with you, of course. But also, I think from a personal branding point of view, painting yourself as an industry leader. If you're interested in sharing your journey more, maybe speaking at conferences, appearing on podcasts like this one, being featured in media. Perhaps you're somebody you've built a really cool property business, and eventually you might be wanting to look to sell that property business in future. This is an opportunity to kind of get your name out there, get your brand out there, and get more eyeballs looking at what you're doing. So yeah, I think there are a lot of different situations where you might consider you want to be part of a project like this. I mean, I think we're all in this business of trying to get more eyeballs on what we're doing, whether it's rentals, whether it's media platforms like mine, whether it's Hospitable. You want people to learn more about your PMS and consider using it. So yeah, I think if you want to grow your business and your personal brand, it's a really amazing opportunity in the STR space.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, as James said, we'll put a link to sign up in the show notes so you can't miss it. But I think that's all we have time for today, James. But thank you so much for coming on and telling us a bit more about Host Planet and the Host Planet Playbook.
It's a real pleasure. Thanks a lot, Miles.
Cheers, James. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Don't forget to like and share on your favorite podcast platform. And if you want to get involved in the Host Planet Playbook, please check out the link down below in the show notes. That'd be great. Thank you very much.